This time we're bringing you the GWM Aura. One thing you can't tell about this car by looking at it is that it's a bit of a game changer. Not because it's particularly attractive. In fact, some say it's so ugly it's cute. I happen to think it's adorable. But it is incredibly cheap. This car, the range, there's several in the range. This one is currently on special for $38,000 and some change. And this is the base model, so 310 kilometre range, which is plenty for a city car. The charging, maximum of 80 kilowatts. But even this Aura has 18-inch wheels. I think it's just cute no matter what angle you look at it from. They have saved some money, there's no doubt about it. The smart locking and unlocking is only on this door, but you can also unlock from the tailgate, which is good, so you don't have to schlep around the front. What do you think about the colour? Baby blue, I'm not quite sure this Wedgwood colour is quite my choice, but wait till I show you this. Now, usually I save getting in to the end, but I wanted to show you this. So I've left the car on so that we can have a little bit of cool when I got into it, because it's really humid outside. It's not what I'd call super capacious. However, with the front seat set for me, now remember, I'm 6 foot, so what's that, 181 centimeters or thereabouts. Have a look at how much room there is, and my feet fit right under the seat in front. There's some smart stitching, it's in blue, and there's even some quilting on the doors and kind of this pattern on the plastic, which I think looks really effective. The one thing is though, and you can see I've got my fold-up bike in the back, there's not a lot of luggage space in this city-sized car. Look how much headspace there is. I mean, that's just amazing. Now remember, $38,000. And in some areas this is known as the Funky Cat. And all the lights are contained up in this bar here with a little auxiliary bit down below. Other than that, where you'd normally expect a tail light, there's tailgate. It's a fairly high loading lip, and as you see, not a huge amount of space with my bike in the back. So, I don't know, what's that? Maybe 6 Coles bags full? Is that enough for shopping? Yes, it is. Is it enough to go away on a holiday? No, it isn't. And all the time I was talking outside, I was able to leave the car switched on because it's not an internal combustion engine, so I'm not burning anything that I don't want to burn. The switch gear is minimal. There's just a couple of buttons up here which have dual rolls up on the steering wheel, an annoying cruise control, and that is smart cruise control, and that's on a separate stalk below the indicator. The indicator's also got the lights on it, and the windscreen wipers are on the other side. Of course, they're fully automatic windscreen wipers. There's, in the style of Mini, a series of toggles down here, and that's really the only other controls on what would be a center stack, if there was a center stack. Down below there's some USBs, a 12-volt outlet, some cup holders, and what looks to be an emergency start for the key. The user guide wasn't really very helpful. For example, I want to change the time. It's showing 12:18 and currently it's 1:18 according to my wireless Apple CarPlay. I've looked everywhere. I combed the user guide back and forth, and I've been into every setting and I can't find it anywhere. Settings page, that's the radio page, the home page, the climate control page, which is remarkably Tesla-esque. And the only other thing that you've got really is this multi-screen that where you can kind of swipe between all the screens that are on the front. Now, the fact that there's wireless Apple CarPlay makes up for the fact that there's no DAB, something I find really annoying. Nonetheless, this is a fantastic package. I did see somewhere on the user guide that they described the interior as luxurious. It is certainly the best interior for a bottom of the range EV that I've seen. No mistake. This beautiful fabric is, I don't know how long lived it is because these are only brand new, but there's no shiny piano black to blind you. All of the surfaces feel like they're quality, even the plastic ones. Boy, oh boy, the established car brands are going to be having a conniption fit. Now, this has recently changed its name. In Australia, it's just Aura. Overseas, it was Aura Funky Cat. And it's changed its name to Aura 3, which suggests there's going to be a lot of other Auras as well. And I've seen little bits here and there. On the center console, there's just the dial for the gears, forward, backwards, and park, auto brake hold in traffic, and the electric park brake. I've not had to use that so far. And then behind that armrest is a little bin. The seats are super comfortable and they're electric, both sides. I do not know how they've done it for this price. I do not. You swivel it into drive and off we go. The tyres are some no-name brand that I've never heard of before, so they're probably a little bit rubbish. But I've had it in the tight bends, it was pretty good. I've also got one pedal driving, but you've got to go in every time you start the car to turn it on. So, to be honest, I'm just not bothering. It's getting too close to other things. Alarm is a little bit too sensitive for my liking. The acceleration is over 8 seconds, so it is leisurely by most standards. But let's not forget, this is, and the entire range is, 126 kilowatts. Now, that's not huge in anyone's language, but it feels remarkably nippy, despite the fact that it is in fact quite relaxed. Now you'll see this camera comes up every single time you're below a certain speed. Personally, I find it irritating and I couldn't find a way to turn it off. Now I know there's a cheaper Tesla coming out, but it's going to have to be really, really good to come anywhere near this Aura. You can see at night how pretty the dash looks. And I've not mentioned the fact yet that this is two, that looks like 12-inch screens. And on this one, I can see all of the data that I would be able to see in any other car. It's got the lines, the cars around me, what temperature it is, what speed the speed control set at. So I set that now. The speed's on one side and my audio's on the other side, but you can scroll through all that, you can personalize it. I haven't bothered. And this little device is keeping an eye on me, and if it thinks that I'm playing up or not watching the road, it gives me a bit of a hoy. Now my cruise control is set at 80. And at least it doesn't reset the distance to the car in front, because when that happens, that's really annoying. At this speed, the cabin is reasonably quiet. I mean, it's not silent by any means. Perhaps other tyres would fix that. But by God, it feels solid on the road. It's going to have a couple 100 kilos of batteries, but it feels brilliant. The steering is nicely weighted and you can change all those things in the settings. It's also got drive modes and you can change those up here as well. To wrap up, there's no hard tacky plastic. Oh, the top of the back door is where everybody seems to cheap out. But on a car for this price, I actually can't complain because it's an EV. And around town, it is going to cost you less. It is going to cost you less to run. The servicing costs, they're less as well than an ICE or internal combustion engine car. The only thing that I could pick it apart from is not being able to change the time And also the audio system is very ordinary, really ordinary. I think GWM is going to give the established car makers a bit of a run for their money. Let's see one of them turn out an EV of this quality for 38 grand on the road. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there to subscribe.